PHP 8 brings many new features to the table, proving doubters it can keep up with the times and defend its position in the area of web development. I have in mind to do a showcase of all of them in the near future, but in this shorter video I just wanted to talk about something introduced in 8.1 and 8.2, which is read-only properties and classes. You need PHP 8.2 to be able to follow this tutorial, because it's always better to explain things within context and show off cases in which they can be used or required. I will start by creating a simple scenario in which we need to request some data from a database by sending a query with different filters for categories, creation dates, status, and how results are sorted, for example. Of course, the simplest way that comes to mind is to provide all this filtering information as parameters to the function. I will use the PDO driver to access the database and bind the parameters as values. Now we request the data. And why not, let's display it in the browser. But if you're anything like me and like things to look neat and clean, well organized and compact, there is another way. That is using a structure that encapsulates all these parameters and is sent as a single value object. We define a class that will wrap such structure and will allow us to create different objects for different filters. As you know, in PHP, class members' variables are called properties. We have non-static and static properties. In this case, we will use non-static private properties because we want each instance to hold different values for different filters. I'm also using the getMagic method to read the private properties. This feels more manageable now, and we have also assigned some default values. All the parameters are bundled together into an immutable object that cannot be changed once created and can be moved around as you like or compared against other objects of the same class. For example, if you want to make sure the same query with the same filter is not sent twice. Or you can save different filters as single objects and reuse them later. We call this type of objects data transfer objects because they are mostly composed of only properties and are used to pass a data structure between different processes or layers. They hardly have any methods. If you want to be able to change the properties inside the class, you could also make the properties public, but we usually don't want data transfer objects to be mutable. We want to protect the properties from future changes once initialized. You just replace the object if you need to change its properties, or you can add a method that does that without having the property directly exposed. There are always a few errors to fix. Now, getting to the topic of this video, there is even a nicer way of doing this in PHP 8.1, using the read-only keyword with non-static properties. First, let me create a new class for the sorting property. Like I said, you need PHP 8.1 to be able to use this new feature. This is how a modern data transfer object looks now. Now, the filter class for the query. See how we use the read-only keyword with promoted constructor properties to get exactly what we want to be compact from. Constructor property promotion is another PHP 8 feature which helps us minimize the code. We reduced some of the boilerplate and the code is easier to follow. Keep in mind that read-only properties cannot be changed once initialized and cannot have default values. Once set, all values will remain the same for the rest of their lifespan. And to simplify it even more, in PHP 8.2 you can mark an entire class as read-only, and all its properties will become read-only. Remember that all read-only properties must have their types declared. Besides, read-only classes cannot have dynamic properties. They cannot use the getMagic method like we did when we created the class for the first time. And that's all for now, so thanks for watching.